As you all know by now, I'm on a little bit of a journey to improve my skills in the kitchen. And this morning, our first guest is from a culinary company here in Seattle at Pike Place Market that's dedicated to making cooking more approachable, precise, and fun. Nick Gavin, chef and culinary creative director at ChefSteps, joins me. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Kelly. So yeah, we've been in Seattle since 2012, heart of Pike Place Market. What we love to do is just teach the hows and whys and science behind cooking. So I thought today would be fun to jump into one of our favorite new things that we have a new video coming out for on ChefSteps is how to turn the stand mixer you already have at home with liquid nitrogen into basically a hot rod ice cream machine.
What?
So
this doesn't compute for me. I'm a little nervous. We'll go over the safety instructions, but you're gonna get right into it so I can taste test. So what are the steps with what we're making?
First thing, you're gonna start with whatever ice cream base you have. Here I have a soft serve ice cream base. Recipes on ChefSteps, but it's a pretty standard one. Here you have a little bit of cream, milk, non-fat milk powder, sugar, salt, and a little bit of glucose as an invert sugar. So pretty standard ice cream base, but where it gets kind of fun is how we're gonna be churning it. So
yes.
With just a run-of-the-mill stand mixer, we have our Breville one here. You can use a KitchenAid stand mixer, but what's most important is just make sure you have a paddle attachment on it.
Okay.
So,
and is this just like cold, like for like in like a fridge, like not frozen? What are we working with?
Fridge.
Okay,
exactly.
Out of the fridge.
Yeah. So this one, because I've been out in the lobby for a little bit, is room temperature. So we are stress testing this, proving that it can work.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I don't know if I've ever made it this fast, and so I'm actually excited.
Ooh, I know. If I will be really sad if I'm not taste testing on a cone.
Right.
So the pressure is on.
So.
Why is this method better than using like a dedicated typical like ice cream maker that you see at home?
Great question, Kelly.
Okay.
So let's talk about a standard ice cream maker. The one that you'd find in most home kitchens. Basically, you're going to put your base into a little tub. There's something called a dasher, which is a spatula that just pushes it around. So it's actually freezing from the outside. So as it freezes on the outside, the dasher, the spatula, is scraping that frozen ice cream and incorporating it.
Oh.
So though this is convenient and super easy to do, the problem with that is as it's shaving off that ice, you get more and more ice crystals. And so though it'll be like really refreshing, still tastes great great ice cream, it'll be a little bit more icy chunks in there. So it'll have a slower flavor release. But we're gonna be fixing that issue by using the stand mixer with liquid nitrogen.
Ooh, okay. What are we doing? Is this where the big guns come in? Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh, this is a science experiment.
It is, yeah.
What? So you don't need gloves?
You should wear gloves.
Okay,
yeah,
you're
Kelly.
just an expert.
Yeah.
Whoa, I feel like I'm in science class. Okay.
Yeah, I guess we should start with the safety things. When using liquid nitrogen, it's pretty recommended to wear eye goggles, to wear gloves, probably not wear open-toe shoes.
Fair.
Basically, you just don't want it to get on your body for a prolonged period of time. But I'm pretty comfortable with this, so I'm not too worried about it. But yes, please be careful.
Yes, absolutely.
Now that we got that out of the way.
I know. Keep it going. Okay, so we start mixing?
Yeah, so we're gonna start mixing this. Got our paddle in there. We are gonna start on low speed here. So again, kind of comparing this to a traditional ice cream maker where it's freezing from the outside in, the liquid nitrogen is much, much colder. So this is negative 320 degrees Fahrenheit. But this is actually going to float on the surface. So you want to keep this moving so it's going to be freezing from the top down.
Okay.
So we're going to be adding this a little bit at a time. And then we're going to show you in a minute, or I'm going to show you in a minute, how to use the blowtorch to expedite this process.
Ooh.
So starting on low.
As one does. Everyone has a blowtorch in their kitchen. I do, for sure.
So just going to get this.
So slow, patience.
Slow, patience. That's the key. With the liquid nitrogen too, you might be wondering like where you would find this.
I was gonna ask that question. Yeah.
So with the liquid nitrogen, we get it through a company like Prax Air. We get it through Lindy Welding down in Soto, but any welding supply store will sell it. We like to use liquid nitrogen though because it's the most like over-the-top method. That's kind of what we like doing at ChefSteps. You can, if you want to go one step lower, use things like dry ice, which is negative, I think, 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Still very cold. But there's a few different ways you can do it. On ChefSteps, we teach you how.
Like the sound is different as it's like going. Is that
Exactly.
because okay.
A lot of this is listening to the sound because all that vapor is coming up. You can't really see what's happening in there. So here you can hear that sizzling sound.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like a frying. That means the liquid nitrogen's still on the surface, just kind of bubbling around. So.
And then you start speeding it up gradually?
Yeah, we're gonna speed it up. This speeding it up is gonna kind of push the vapors away and we can get an idea of what's happening in there. So you can see here, Kelly, on the edges, there's some chunks.
Yeah.
So as it's spinning, the liquid nitrogen gets pushed to the side, and those are just chunks of frozen ice cream. So now that's where the blowtorch comes in. So you're gonna freeze it, melt it, freeze it, melt it. It's kind of a dance in a way. So.
This is blowing my mind. What?
We're just gonna hit the edges.
You're doing the bowl, the edges of the.
Just the edges, and you see how it melts back into it?
Yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna turn the speed back up.
How many times are you doing this, or is it differ every time you're making ice cream and you kind of just have to look at the consistency?
Great question. A lot of it's just looking at the consistency. There's also a lot of variables too. The temperature of the ice cream base that went into it, how big of the batch size is, and volume. But I would say going back and forth, it might be like 8 or 9 times or so.
Wow.
You can really crank this out fast if you're not talking, but it's a really fun process. Like for like at a party or a sorority. You know about sororities.
I do.
I looked you up.
Me up? Oh
University of Montana.
Theta. Shout out to all my Thetas out there. You did.
I did.
This would be a crowd pleaser for sure there.
Why don't you drop those berries in there for me?
I can?
Yeah.
I'm going to go really slow because I'm nervous over here. What is happening to the berries? They're just going to get...
We're going to cryo shatter those berries.
Cryo shatter.
They're going to freeze all the way through. And then they're gonna break super easily with just a little tap of a spoon and break into like little pods with all the juice.
I really feel like I'm like a mad scientist over here. This is very fun. And then you can put like sprinkles, different like toppings kind of in the ice cream too, whatever you fancy.
Yeah.
Should I do all the berries, Nick? Or how am I doing? Okay, let's get crazy. And these are gonna break, you said. Like they're gonna... Whoa. Do you just have like a ton of like this liquid nitrogen at your house?
We do.
Just kicking it?
Oh, not at my house, no.
Okay. All right, I feel like the berries are doing a good job. How's everything going over there?
Just about done.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Is this one of your favorite things to make at home, would you say?
At home I'll do it with dry ice. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. To make it a little easier.
A little bit easier. Yeah, I just swing by a QFC, grab the dry ice, crush it up, and you just slowly add it in.
This is dinner and a show. I am seeing the consistency. Okay.
Almost there.
Whoa. One more blowtorch, and then it goes in here, I know. And then you're going to be able to...
Then we're going to be able to pipe it into the cones.
Okay.
And that's just going to mimic the texture or appearance of a soft serve machine.
Ooh, the consistency in here looks absolutely delicious.
All right, hopefully this is the last one. I talk too much.
I know. Okay, well, it's looking good, like ice cream. Okay, I think it's time.
All right, one last one.
Woo! Okay, we have less than a minute to try. You're down to the wire.
Down to the wire.
It looks like whipped cream.
Look at that.
Okay. So it's going in the piping bag. I literally cannot wait. My mouth is watering. So you fill that up as best you can.
Yep.
And then it goes in my little cone.
Beautiful texture. Oh, it's
That
like
looks
marshmallows.
beautiful. Oh my gosh. My whippy dip, my homemade whippy dip. This is magical. Okay, taste test time.
Check it out. We got our berries too.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. This was amazing.